What's up, everybody? I'm B True, and today we're going to talk about something that I believe is either little known or is maybe even under the radar a little bit as far as increasing your effective battle power. Now, what I mean by effective battle power is the power that you take into a fight, not necessarily this number right here. So this is your battle power, your stat battle power, and effective battle power is what you take into the fight with you. And generally they are the same, but what I want to talk about today is initiative. All right? So if we look at our details in here, I'm talking about this number right here, your initiative. And initiative determines who goes first in a fight. And this can single-handedly make or break your team. Like this stat alone can be the difference between winning and losing a fight, right? So if you go in here, you see the different initiatives here. So you got 1400, 1400, 1200, almost 1900, right? So the way that this works, allows you to go. It determines whether or not you go first or second. And so when you go into your formation, you've got action 1, action 2, action 3, action 4. So they will always go in that action, regardless of your initiative, okay? And same with the other team. Whoever is in the first action goes first, and so on and so forth. And no matter how much initiative you have, your second character will never go before the enemy's first character. Okay, does that make sense? So no matter, you can have 10,000 more initiative than the other guy, and your second person will never go before their first person. Now, if their first person dies, it still takes that into account. So you can have like this guy, your first person and your second person go before their second person goes because of a death. But I'm talking like full lineup starting the battle right now, okay? It has to do, it also impacts your barrier, your passive barrier. So Darui has a passive barrier. When the fight starts, his barrier launches. Whoever has the higher initiative, their barrier is the last one to go. Okay? So if you have a higher initiative for your team, your passive barrier will be the one that stays on the field, not your opponent's, which again is a huge bonus depending on which ninja and what your lineup is, because it can end up buffing your ninjas, and it helps them out a lot. So basically the way this works, right? If my Darui is going up against somebody on the other team, okay? And I'm using my prompt skill, my mystery skill, right here, Gale Style Black Panther, and they're using their mystery skill. If my team's initiative is higher than their team's initiative, Darui is going to go first. He's going to cast his mystery, the enemy will cast their mystery, then Darui will attack, then their first will attack, and then my second, their second, my third, their third, so on and so forth. Now, there's a little bit of confusion as to exactly how this works. And what I mean by that is, so let's say, for example, this is my team, right? So you saw that my main's initiative was almost 1900, whereas Darui is 1400. So, what if, as a whole, my team's initiative was higher than the enemy team's initiative, but my first person, so Darui's initiative, was lower than the enemy team's first person's initiative. Okay, so overall I have a higher initiative, but Darui's is lower than whoever the enemy has in their first slot. That's where the confusion comes into play. Now, as far as I understand, and from everything that I've ever seen, it goes by your whole team's initiative. So it takes the entire team's initiative into account, and then whichever team has the higher initiative, their action person will go first. So even though my Darui's initiative might be lower than their first person's initiative, because my team's initiative is higher, my whole team will do their action, number for number, before the enemies. Okay, it is not individual ninja, it is your team as a collective. That is why things like battle power with the rank is so important. Okay, so this initiative is for everybody. Everybody gets that 111 that I have right there. Okay, Your refinements are very important because obviously they give you initiative. So you don't necessarily want to get like one person a whole bunch of refinements because it's shared amongst the entire team. So you want to get whatever's the easiest to upgrade for your team. Same with Purify. When you're purifying them, right, it's the initiative boost that you get from everybody that goes into your team as a collective. And then finally, the rune stones. And I believe that's it. Refinement, you're purifying, your rune stones, battle power. Oh, your summons. Let's get to summons. Summons don't have, never mind. Summons don't have any, but eight gates does. And one of the things that I wanted to bring up in this this video is how important this exchange chakra is for your 8 gates. Now, I have never seen a quick rune show up. Not as green, not as blue, not as purple, yellow, red, nothing. Never. Because this right here, initiative, is one of the most important stats in your team that you can possibly have. It's one of the most important. By going first, you're able to dictate so many things, right? So if you have one of my common lineups has my main character in the first action slot with lightning sealing slash. Now, why is that? If my initiative is higher than the enemy's initiative, that means that I can cancel any mystery I want to on the enemy team because my main character will always go before any one of their characters. Now, with him in the second slot, I can only cancel somebody in the second, third, or fourth slot. I can't cancel somebody in the first slot because you never go ahead of an action. Like I said, it's always number 1 to number 1, always. So, by getting your attack in first, you can start your combo first. You can get your crowd control out first. You get your damage out first. All those things are so crucial to determining whether or not you win. And you can beat people with higher battle power than you if you have a higher initiative and you get a little lucky with your combos, right? So Darui is... so one of his really good strengths is his ability to cause paralysis AoE, right? So he can cause paralysis to multiple ninjas with his chase and his mystery skill. So if you get a combo off, pretty much every turn you can get his chase off with the 10 combo chase. And by doing that, you can get AoE paralysis on the enemy team very easily. By having AoE paralysis on the enemy team, you stop them from doing their combo, which dramatically decreases their damage. Sometimes it gets rid of some debuffs that, like, Darui has debuff as one of his chases. So you can get rid of some debuffs. If they have, like, Hinata, you get rid of her acupuncture. You can get rid of ignition, paralysis, all that good stuff. He gets his attacks off first, so he's able to heal because of my main's passive that gives lifesteal. He's able to get his mystery off first, which is obviously very crucial. All these things that you can do by going first that dramatically increase your chances of winning. And that's not even, like I said, counting the passive barriers that can do some seriously incredible things. Especially since Danzo is so meta right now, because Danzo is very powerful with his ability to bring somebody back to life, like, mark them so they immediately come back to life. If you have a higher initiative, you can use like a Lightning Main's acupuncture skill to cancel Danzo's mystery before he can get it off, right? And that's all initiative. So you can get that off and take out Danzo, get rid of his skill before he uses it, and then that way you can stop him from bringing people back to life. Or, if you don't have Lightning Sealing Slash, you can get your combo off on a ninja to kill them before Danzo gets his special off, right? So that's why initiative is so important. And one of the only real ways that you can, seriously impact it with that's not just everything else. So let's see here. So your refinements, it's again, that's, you get all of them. Purify, you get all of them. You can sort of weight these differently. And what I mean by weight is like, determine like which one's more important to you. So like, let's find a good example here. Like this right here, right? None of these stats are really all that good. None of these are all that worth locking. Maybe the blue one right there. But what you can do is, if you've got a lot of purification runes, you can re-roll this until you get like a blue or a purple in your initiative because you value that higher than these other skills. And I'm not saying that these other skills don't matter, but the initiative is so important that you might want to value it higher. For your rune stones, there's not a lot you can do. You just, you take what you get, and these are all random. So the biggest place that you can... Oh, and also your battle armor. Don't forget your battle armor. You get that in here. But the biggest place that you can influence your initiative comes in the 8 inner gates. Because you can pick and choose exactly what you want on each one of your characters to make them specifically, what you're looking for them to be. And like I said, I've never seen a quick or chakra come up. So... these practice points that you get, unless you're spending ingots on this, these practice points are going to be very, very slow as they come. I've probably spent like 10 million or so coins total so far on this. Never seen a single quick ever. Green, blue, purple, red, none of them. And I've got about 5,000 points. Now you can see here, so this is like 8,000, 8,000, 5,000. These are all 5,000. Initiative, right? 20,000. And then you go back into 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. So, of these purple runes, the only one that is higher than 8,000 is initiative. And it's 20,000. And that is because of how important initiative is. Initiative can make or break your team. And I cannot stress that enough. I know I've repeated myself a lot, but I cannot stress that enough. That 20,000 right there is worth it. It's much more worth it than using that 5,000 on some of these purples here. Now, these yellows are, 32,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. There is no quick yellow. You can't get an initiative yellow. You just can't. They won't give it to you. Probably because it's so amazing and so rare, but whatever. So... your choices are, you could save that 20,000 and use it on one of these yellows, right? And that's obviously a very good, it's a very good decision. Like damage reduction, 200 damage reduction, that's huge. Level that up a couple times. A yellow sand would be amazing. It'd be so helpful for you. However, for my money, this purple quick right here, that's what I'm using my points on. I'm going to save these points up till I get 20,000, and I'm getting this purple quick rune for the initiative, because initiative cannot be overstated how important it is. And I'll level that thing up to level 10. I will level that thing as high as I can possibly go, because that can go on any ninja. It raises your total initiative for your team, because like I said, it's all about your team initiative. And that is the most important stat that you don't really hear about, but that influences so much. So I hope that this guide to this stat here kind of helps you out. It helps you to understand initiative. Like I said, there isn't a ton of things that you can do other than, like spend your coupons on your thread so that you can upgrade your rank to get more initiative. That's a good way to increase your initiative. Or you could spend on, obviously, refinement runes, because refinement runes can give you a lot of initiative as well, right? So those are the two ways that I would spend my coupons between the refinement runes and then your thread for initiative. Otherwise, just save your practice points up until you get 20,000, and then buy the quick rune for the initiative, because the initiative will make or break your team. Anyway, guys, I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed the video, or if this helped you in any way, please click the like button down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date with my future videos, and you can kind of, as I explain more things, you can stay up to date with them. I can teach you how to dominate your server. That's going to be it from me, guys. Thank you all so much for watching to this point. I appreciate every single one of you. Means the world to me that you guys all follow me. Appreciate it all. That's going to be it. Like I said, I'm Be True. You guys have a great night and peace.